Heya Cryptozens, tonight's show. India says CBDCs can kill private crypto. New York State passes mining moratorium. It's 10 p.m. Pacific time. The date is June 4th, 2022. Welcome back to the Crypto Overnighter. My name is Nicodemus. I'll be your host. The cover model, mascot, and co-host for this podcast is Tex. And together we take a nightly look at the crypto, NFT, and metaverse space and the industry that surrounds it. So take a minute, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast now, because we're here at 10 p.m. every night so that when you leave in the morning, you're taking with you the crypto news analysis that you need to start your day. And keep in mind, nothing in this show should ever be considered financial advice. Tell me you don't understand crypto without telling me you don't understand crypto. Ravi Shankar is the Deputy Governor of the Reserve Bank of India, and he showed his blatant anti-crypto bias. So it came out in discussion with the International Monetary Fund, and they were talking about the fact that India's potential to disrupt crypto and blockchain. And so he was comparing crypto with their UPI, the Unified Payments Interface. Specifically, they were comparing the growth rate of crypto versus the growth rate of UPI. For any listeners who don't know, UPI, or Unified Payments Interface, is India's in-house peer-to-peer payment system, and it's fiat-based, which explains why the Reserve Bank of India is so very protective over it. To be fair, it has had an average adoption rate and transaction growth of 160% per year for the last 5 years. Now, Shankar started off by talking about the success of UPI, and it was at that point that he said, quote, "One of the reasons it is so successful is because it's simple." According to him, quote, "Blockchain, which was introduced 6-8 years before UPI even started, even today is being referred to as a potentially revolutionary technology. Blockchain use cases haven't really been established at that much speed it was initially hoped for." At which point I kind of have to get all 60s hippie on him and say, you don't get it, man. Government's the problem, not the answer. And what I mean is a lot of people want crypto specifically because it has nothing to do with the banks, because the government can't and won't control it, because it's borderless and permissionless. For most people, crypto isn't about convenience, although for the unbanked population, it increasingly is. Crypto is bringing banking-like services to people who have never had it. And the danger for folks like that is borne out in studies. These studies show that people without a bank account, people who don't have a place to stash their money, they tend to spend it all. Makes it much harder to steal. And so now with crypto, all you need is a smartphone. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You just need a smartphone, which is a potential sore spot for India, because the RBI official did confirm that a lot of India's population, they still have no access to the UPI-based banking. They don't have smartphones. So that means they don't have access to the UPI platform. Now, the Indian government did say that they were working on offline payment solutions, some of which have already started rolling out. He acknowledged that the bank will certainly still have a role, that of providing liquidity services to the general public in India. And he also claimed that tech is a tool and can't really be used to create currency. Banks can, and governments can. But according to him, private citizens with technology cannot create currency. He said, quote, "A currency needs an issuer or it needs intrinsic value. Many cryptocurrencies, which are neither, are still being accepted at face value, not just by gullible investors, but also the experts, policymakers, or academicians." Also, he's not a big fan of stablecoins. He said that the Reserve Bank doesn't believe that they should be accepted one-to-one as pegged to fiat currencies. And at that point, I think he went off a bit. He was talking about the advantages of a digital rupee when he said, quote, "We believe that central bank digital currencies could actually be able to kill whatever little case that could be made for private cryptocurrencies." All of which makes no sense to me, and tells me that the Reserve Bank cannot or will not understand the appeal of crypto. money nobody controls, nobody but me. The last thing I'm interested in is handing over possession and control of my wealth to the government. Because if you start using and accepting a CBDC, that's exactly what you're doing. Even at its most benevolent, you're offering the government a window into your finances. At its worst, in the hands of an authoritarian regime, well, at that point, you're completely handing over control of your money to your government. You see, with a CBDC, your government, through the central bank, they have complete control over how and when you spend your money. If the government decides you can only have 2 pounds of bacon per month for health reasons, that's all you will be able to purchase. At that point, they have the ability to turn off payments for things they don't approve of. That's with the central bank digital currency. On the other hand, crypto, you control it. At least if you're smart enough to take it off of the exchange, then you're in control. Not the bankers, not the politicians. Now, I get why they're concerned. It is the nature of bureaucracies to protect their own existence. And the Indian government is afraid. They look at crypto and they are dubious at best. It is their concern, it's their suspicion that bringing crypto into the Indian economy will eventually destroy the rupee. They're worried that crypto, especially with so many stablecoins being denominated in dollars, they're worried about the Indian economy becoming dollarized. And they know that they're fighting a losing battle. Just the potential for wealth is enough to lure many folks into crypto, especially the poor and disadvantaged, which India has plenty of. Then you throw in celebrities and influencers, and they're worried about the sovereignty of the Indian rupee. The existence of CBDCs doesn't remove the need for private crypto. It magnifies it. Okay, let's check on the markets. At the time of writing, the global crypto market cap is $1.23 trillion. It's up a little, about 0.5% in 24. The top 5 cryptos by market cap are Bitcoin up 0.36%, Ethereum up 1.09%, Tether, USDC, and Binance Coin up 1.43%. The global NFT market cap is up over $12.15 billion. Sales volume is down sharply, 20.94% in 24 hours. According to CoinMarketCap, the top 5 NFT collections by sales volume are We're All Gonna Die, followed by Goblin Town, Bored Apes, Boki, and Akumu Dragons. Now keep in mind, some of these collections have very volatile prices, so do your own research. New York State's economic future might come down to where their governor chooses to place her signature. If Governor Kathy Hochul chooses to sign this bill, then it means New York would be the first state in the union to put a moratorium on crypto mining. Now, I am sincere in my belief that if crypto becomes a liberal versus conservative issue, both liberals and conservatives lose. So here's what's going on. The New York State Senate approved a proof-of-work mining ban. This ban, controversial and contested as it is, would ban any new Bitcoin mining operations in the entire state. Now, we covered this back in April when the bill first passed the state assembly. Its plan is to prohibit any new mining operations in the state of New York for the next 2 years. Now, having passed the assembly and now the Senate, this bill just lacks the governor's signature to go into effect. At the heart of the issue, of course, is the nature of proof-of-work mining, because it does provide one of the most decentralized ways of mining and therefore the most robust and more resistant to fraud. That said, there is a significant portion of the public who oppose it based on environmental grounds. In fact, a number of senators flipped their vote from undecided to in favor of the ban. They cited concerns about carbon emissions as their reason. So they gave in to the FUD. They let fear, uncertainty, and doubt rob them of their judgment. Because not only would this bill stop any new mining operations from taking hold in New York, it starts to kill off the operations that are already there. The bill refuses the renewal of licenses of those who are already legally operating in the state, and any new operations will only be approved if they're 100% renewable. This disagreement over Bitcoin's mining consensus mechanism is in no way new. In fact, it's one of the hottest topics of debate. There is a definite environmentalist contingent who support proof-of-stake mining consensus. That, while using far less energy, also is not perfect. Some criticize proof-of-stake as another rich get richer, poor get poorer kind of thing. One of the most dishonest aspects of what the environmentalists are doing comes from their willful ignorance of the facts. Because they're either ignorant or lying. And here's why I say that. Policymakers and environmentalists get hung up on how much energy Bitcoin mining uses. By the way, please do a comparison between how much Bitcoin uses in energy and how much the fiat system, with all of the buildings and the cars and the armored trucks and all the electricity that system uses. Compare those two. And then say, oh my God, it uses too much energy. That's just ignorant of the facts. And one fact they're ignoring is that a significant chunk of the energy that Bitcoin mining uses comes from renewable resources. In New York, 50% of the electricity produced comes from renewable resources. In fact, a recent Bitcoin Mining Council report showed that more than 60% of the electricity used came from clean sources. Now, some folks are hoping that the New York mining ban will be just the start. They want proof-of-work mining banned throughout the United States. Well, the European Parliament, they already tried such a thing. They had a similar proof-of-work ban, and they gave up on it. Back in March, we covered it. The European Parliament had a version of their own. It was in a draft of the Markets in Crypto Assets Act, or MiCA. This would have banned proof-of-work mining outright, and they gave up on that in the face of mounting criticism. I feel bad for the crypto New York people, because even more for those in the mining organizations that just got off of ground, because they probably haven't paid back any money that they raised to get started. And now they're going to have less than 2 years to make any kind of money and then get out. And the damage to the economic future of the region. Because, places like Texas, they're lining up to provide land and resources to crypto miners. For a price, of course, yeah. But they'll be able to do business there. I think the belief that this would kick off a wave of proof-of-work mining bans was foolish, ignorant of the facts. I'm thinking what it will do is it has the potential to create a haves and have-nots situation. I think some states will allow mining and some will ban it. Those that allow crypto mining will reap the financial rewards, while those who ban it will only be able to look on in envy. And that's going to do it for us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed tonight's show, like, comment, and subscribe. Give us a glowing review, because that helps other people find their way to this podcast. We're here each and every night at 10 p.m. Pacific to bring you the crypto news analysis that you need to start your day. You can find us on podcasting platforms everywhere or on YouTube. Do you have questions or comments? Reach out and let us know. The email address is nick@cryptoovernighter.com. That's nick@cryptoovernighter.com. Or come find us on YouTube. Leave me a comment and maybe I'll read it in the next episode. We'll see you tomorrow night.